by my side. Funky gamers grooving, let's enjoy the ride. Pixel warrior swag on blast. Combo chain so smooth, we're built to last. Check the leaderboard, is that on top? It's the funky squad, we'll never stop. Gaming ain't easy, but we make it look tight. What's in the sack? Oh, it's trouble tonight. Leveling up with the crew by my side. Funky gamers grooving, let's enjoy the ride. So warrior swag on blast. Combo chain so smooth, we're built to last. Check the leaderboard, who's that on top? It's the funky squad, we'll never stop. Gaming ain't easy, but we make it look tight. What's in the sack? Oh, it's trouble tonight. Leveling up with the crew by my side. Funky gamers grooving, let's enjoy the ride. Pitches and codes, we know the game. Skilling so hard, they remember our name. Respawn, reload, we don't back down. Funky kings and queens, we wear the crown. Oh yeah! Gaming ain't easy, but we make it look tight. What's in the sack? Oh, it's trouble tonight. Leveling up with the crew by my side. Funky gamers grooving, let's enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy the ride. Florida Foxy in the house. Oh snap. Oh yeah. Harry's got the joystick, making it clap. Sarah X-Man causing trouble, bringing the heat. Yo, Wicked Hot's got the moves.
What is up, everybody? It's Tuesday night. Do you know where your moms are at? We do. Welcome to another episode of Gamin Ain't Easy. And you guys are in for a ride tonight. As every week, you're always in for a ride. And we're glad you're along for the ride all the time. Everybody's already popping off in the chat here. We got Stevie Mac, we got Frank, we've got Venom Dave, we got Chrissy Bakley. We've got Talos Ray in the house already, and more are coming in as we get going. So, without further ado, let's get the panel in. And first off, the man in the shades, Mr. NWO for life. Perry, how the hell are you feeling tonight, brother?
No, I'm ready to go, brother. I'm drinking my water, brother. I'm ready to go, brother.
It's NWO for life, brother. And that's the only
for
time
life.
this is going to work for me.
Last for life, anyway.
What's that?
It is for life. Too bad he didn't last for life. But
no, he didn't. He didn't make it out alive. So,
not many left.
Not many left. That's it. That's exactly right. Especially the original three. There's only one left. That's Kevin Nash
On the 30th anniversary, like we were saying off the air.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I completely forgot. It's 30 years of the NWO too. We'll get into that in a minute. Because then we'll get into that before we get into the topic for the night. But let's get the other man on the panel here. We got Karai 864 in the house. How you feeling? We're gonna get the beast from the east. You're wicked hot. How you feeling tonight, brother?
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, brother. I'm feeling great.
You know what would have sold it, man? Have you seen the movie Hot Rod?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's a fucking underrated movie.
Oh, my God. I've been drinking green tea all day.
Dude, if anyone hasn't seen Hot Rod, I advise you to watch that movie. It is fucking great.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Perry, have you seen Hot Rod?
No, I know of it, but I never watched it.
Oh,
it's
God,
you got it. Slipped you by at the time it came out, but dear God.
I wasn't a fan of early 2000s movies, but there you go.
Oh, let me tell you, this is a great one.
Yeah. Just that intro scene when he tries to jump the mail truck.
And then he has the 80s music video little scene breakdown.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can't give it away too much for Perry here. He's got to see it. It's just ridiculous.
He's got to see it.
Oh, it's so good. But anywho, all right. So Perry mentioned 30th anniversary of the NWO. So for next week, and we got MILF Man in the house. Cougar Man, we acknowledge you. Fingers up.
Cougar Man. Cougar. Man.
But anyway, so y'all noticed by the title of the episode, it's episode 29. Next week is our Dirty 30. So we're going to be discussing some 30th anniversaries that have been happening this year. We got 3 of them now. I completely forgot about the NWO. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the 30th anniversary. I won't give it all away, but there's 30th anniversaries involved in this and that. So make sure you're tuned in for that too. Make sure you're tuned in all the time. I mean, we love you. You always do anyway. But, of course, the obligatory, hey, make sure you're tuned in kind of shit. Chrissy Bagley, we need to find the Great Cornholio. Yeah, we do. Maybe we can get the Great Cornholio to make an appearance or something. We'll figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's 30th anniversary of Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Yes, it is. Oh, my God. It's going to be a lot of 30th anniversary talk next week. So make sure you're in there. And if you want to feel old on top of it, I know everything that's been like 30 years, you've been coming up on 30 years this year. And I feel like I need a walker and some Metamucil.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I can't wait. Just wait till we all hang out on the 10th anniversary. I'm going to get my fucking Boy Scouts badge for helping out the elderly all in one. Oh my God.
Well, you might, because the camping site is about 15 minutes from here. So there you go.
Well, that's great. Because me and Mr. Gardocki and all the kids are going to come here and we're going to beat the brakes off you guys. They're gonna be running in that shop like the guys in the Scarface at the end. They're just gonna be running in one after another. You won't be able to stop them, Perry.
You know what's funny about Scarface? The Terminator killed him at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that guy's a badass. He's badass.
I'm just saying.
Christy Bakley chiming in here too, saying, I hit the wrong way. We got another 30th anniversary. 30th anniversary Space Jam.
And Space Jam's website is still up from the 90s, by the way. My wife was just on that website the other day. You could download WAV files of clips from the movie.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so we'll have a lot of talk for next week. But this week, first off, before we get into the topic this week, I almost forgot. I got so excited I wanted to talk about stuff for this week. But, yeah, let's get me nuked from orbit in the first 10 minutes of the show here.
Bing bong.
All right. What's everybody gaming on? Perry, what are you gaming on this week?
Oh, God. I don't know.
Everything.
I took a break from Resident Evil, so I guess the last game I played was Resident Evil. I don't even know.
So I went back to Resident Evil.
That was it.
I took a break from Resident Evil by playing more Resident Evil.
I actually didn't. I
rinse and repeat.
I haven't been playing nothing. What did I play on the Switch? I don't know what I'm playing. All right, go ahead.
Was it a Pokopia? You were playing Pokopia?
No, I don't have that Hulk Hogan.
Hulkopia.
Everyone's a brother in there. What's up, brother? What's up, brother?
This doesn't work for me, brother.
Don't give Eric Bischoff any more ideas.
Oh, God.
He's already bankrupted his son.
Oh, my God.
Good Lord.
Look at Jesus.
Well, all right. So then, Wicked, what you been playing on this week?
All right. I've been playing some Marathon. I was just playing some Arc Raiders with Talos and Stevie. And I've been playing some Battlefield, of course. I can't remember if we talked about it last week or whatever, but we did play. Me and Perry did play together with the Oh Yeah Boys.
I played Mario Kart. I lied. Community game night with Noof. I played Mario Kart.
Did you run Talos off the road like I demanded?
No, but I threw some shells at him and he got mad. So
good. I mean, it takes a while for that green shell or red shell to really, make it all the way down to Australia to hit him, but. We appreciate the effort.
So then we're gonna hear him go, no.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. We got
that's about it, guys.
Poke Hogan from Frank. We got Dizzy Delta and the Demon Damio tuning in. Much love to you guys. Glad to see you guys here. Poke Hogan, of course.
Poke Hogan.
But as for me, I also I finished my second run through Resident Evil Requiem. So I taking a short break before I go do my third run through because I still have to do that damn ending puzzle and some other shit. I want to get infinite ammo so I can speed run the damn game. So I got some credits I got to earn yet. But I went for a palate cleanse and fired back up Doom the Dark Ages. And I forgot how much I love that game too. So it's just like, it's going to be a little bit of my time for the next little bit between Doom Dark Ages and more Resident Evil Requiem. And I'll probably sneak in finishing up all the classic playthroughs too. I know I got on the channel, I got to finish up at least posting the videos up. I've already since played through 2, 3, and I'm halfway through Veronica, and then I'll play 4. And I know I said a while ago I'm going to work through all the originals and then the remakes and blah blah blah, with the exception of 5 and 6 because fuck those games. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and all that good stuff. RWK in the house. What's up, buddy? How you feeling?
Nice.
Got everybody just good time. But tonight, as we revisit consoles that we enjoyed and just consoles in general from our past, we're talking about a big one. We're talking about probably it was the precursor to the game changer, I guess you would say, because the Nintendo DS was obviously a huge move for Nintendo. But prior to that, we had this lovely little machine right here, the Game Boy Advance. And 2001, that was definitely a year as far as gaming went. A good year. I mean, there were other, obviously you mentioned 2001, some bad things happened, and we won't get into that. But as far as gaming went, obviously the PS2 launched. Unfortunately, the Dreamcast
happened that was banned in 2001. You don't want to talk about it, do you? The launch of the Xbox.
I was just going to say that was actually something I quite enjoyed, and we'll get to covering the Xbox eventually. Now, one of the things that happened in 2001 that I really hate discussing is the fall of WCW.
Yeah. Ironically enough, on the 26th, which is the same day as Xbox's show.
Oh, effing A, Cotton, effing A.
25 years later, here we go.
Yeah, but
TBA.
But gaming in 2000, early in the early 2000s, like I was saying, the PS2 launch basically waffle stomped the hell out of the Dreamcast. We had the Nintendo GameCube and the OG Xbox on the horizon. They didn't launch until the holidays, but this guy came right here, the Game Boy Advance, spring of 2001, and we're going to go ahead and do like we've been doing now. First, before we get, so I will jump on camera now. I'm probably going to do this a couple of times tonight because I actually got quite a bit of Game Boy Advance stuff, but I'll jump on camera. And now, this isn't my original Game Boy Advance. I actually got this a little while after. This is the Toys R Us Blue Edition one. So, but that's the original guy. And then my wife's pink, there it is, Advance SP. So we've got like 2 SPs in the house. We got the original guy in the house. Was definitely a big fan of this console, but I will save that all for when we get to me. We're actually going to go ahead and let Wicked take charge here because I'm sure, as far as the launch goes, this would be more around the time where how would I say? Because you're definitely younger than we are, but this but around this time, I think you would be a bit more. I don't know how you say involved. More.
Yeah, definitely. The I was gonna say the mindset. I'd be a little bit older. I'd probably be like, I don't even remember, maybe almost in middle school. Yeah, I'd probably.
So and you were like a prime candidate for this console. So go ahead and lead the charge, man. Discuss. Were you there for launch? What did you have at launch, or when you first got involved with the Game Boy Advance and this and that? Just go ahead and let her rip.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So originally, I for 1 year and for Christmas, before this, I had the Game Boy Color. I had the transparent purple, like that atomic purple. My mom got me that.
I
My
had
mom,
that same one.
dad, yep, they got it for me for like Christmas 1 year, and my birthday is the day after Christmas. So I got Pokemon as well. I just ended up opening it a day later. So doing that and everything, I got that honestly, like probably a couple years before this came out, the Game Boy Advance. So when this one launched, I was still young. I don't have the money to buy it myself. So I didn't exactly get this one at launch. I'm sorry. The one I ended up getting at launch was the SP. So I went from the Game Boy Color straight to the SP right in 2003. I forget. I had to look it up when February 14th, 2003. I think it came out. No, that was Japan.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm so sorry. It was on March 23rd. March 23rd of that year. That was the year. That was it. But no, I ended up doing that. I remember going to KB Toy Works down the street with my mom. And I'm like, oh my God, you walk into KB Toy Works. I remember like it was yesterday. Wrestlers are straight ahead. Games are to the left. I went right to the games, and I was like, I got the silver Game Boy Advance SP, and the first game I got was Super Mario Advance. And let me tell you, bro, I played that so hard all day that I was playing mid-game, and it just died on me. And then I played it, and I fell asleep with it playing it. Like, it was un-effing real. I went to my grandmother's, and then I was like, I'm bringing this mother effer with me. That thing didn't leave my hip. Like, I was in the backlit screen, game-changing, mother effer. Game-changing. And not even to add, you get to flip it and close it. Protection at its finest, my friends. I don't think we can get any better than that. Now you don't have to worry about this thing dinging it up, and it's wallet size. I just think the Game Boy Advance SP was just peak.
Well, we know what you keep in your wallet, so that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Condoms.
So you're saying that maybe the SP ended up in his prison pocket?
Oh, yeah, dude. Somebody had to keister that a couple times, but don't worry. She came out A-OK, my friend. She still holds a charge. But no, man, that was absolutely game-changing. But that's kind of my experience. I don't know if you want me to go into some games right now. Do you want it to bounce it to Perry or?
Yeah, we'll do the whole first experience with it because you know, and again, and I forgot to say no, what the hell?
No. So anyway, now that we actually have a real show going on here, I'd like to take the floor and say that we don't need that guy anymore. We've actually decided it's a two-man show. So Perry, welcome. How do you feel about just running a two-man band now?
I think it's great. I don't know what to call you. I'll call you Bill or Bob. I think it's great, Bob.
Listen up, Jack. I'm glad we got rid of that dead weight. No, we don't. All right. Anyway, Perry, why don't you get?
I'm trying. You call me Jack. I'm thinking of a Hulk Hogan promo where he kept saying Jack. Remember, like towards the end, he would say blah 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 Jack.
Well, that completely booted me. That was interesting, and all of a sudden it just popped up randomly. And like, would you like to leave the site? I'm like, no, absolutely not. What are we doing here? And then it just kicks me. Well, then at least it didn't completely jack up the show here. Thank freaking God.
No, we held it down. It was, no worries.
Okay. So anyway, before we get into Perry's launch experience with it or his first time experience with it, again, I mentioned that this was a precursor to what Nintendo did with its big game-changing Nintendo DS, but this piece of hardware here was actually pretty revolutionary in and of itself. Now, a lot of people remember it more for all of the Super NES ports and stuff like that. It was a 16-bit powerhouse, but this was actually considered to be a 32-bit handheld. So it could do a lot more than that. And as we talk about the games and stuff, we'll get into that. But go ahead and Perry, go ahead and take the charge here and talk about your first experiences. Were you there at launch and this and that?
I was there at launch. I bought one because I had a job that year. I got my first job in 2001.
Okay.
And I picked it up and I bought Super Mario Advance 2, which is Super Mario World. Again, Super Nintendo port on there. It was good. I really wish now that I would have bought the first Super Mario Advance, which is the jacked up version of Super Mario Brothers 2, because in my opinion, that is the top version of Super Mario Brothers 2.
Oh,
if you're going to play any version of Mario 2, I would say skip the NES, skip the Super Nintendo remake, and just go right for that Super Mario Advance port of it, that version of it.
Yeah.
Because they fixed that game and they made it its own game finally. Whereas, you know, we all know the whole story with the original. There was a reskin of the other game, but they just made it its own game, and it's fantastic. I wish I would have bought that at launch. Anyway, I bought Super Mario Advance 2, which Super Mario World at launch. I had Link to the Past. They put a Link to the Past on there. Then they put some NES games on there as well. They had the NES Classics or whatever it was.
Yes, they did.
But like you said, it was just a mini Super Nintendo, and it was great.
Yeah.
I had the Donkey Kong Country port, the worst game ever made, Mortal Kombat Advance. I had it. I traded that game in literally like a week after I bought it because it's impossible to play.
Hot diggity dog.
Believe it or not, I actually was able to beat that game because that was one of the earlier games. I don't have it anymore, and I wish I did because I actually think it's kind of expensive now, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going for. It's funny. I haven't seen that cartridge since.
Yeah,
it's not even coming to the shop at all.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'm trying. I'll get into it when But yeah, I know I had that early on. I don't think I got it at launch, but
I'll say shout out to WarioWare Twisted.
Yes, all the
greatest games.
Yeah, WarioWare is good stuff.
And I'm trying to think what else I had. I mean, I still have them downstairs. I just don't know which I actually own. I did buy Castlevania Circle of the Moon. I think I got rid of that after a while, but I had that game that was fun at launch. Minish Cap. I mean, you can't go wrong with Minish Cap.
No, you can't.
Great game.
Trying to see what else the hell I had for Game Boy Advance. I think I had Tekken Advance. I had Doom 1 and 2, but I think I got rid of those. Great ports. I mean, they were fun. It was fun to play those.
Did you have Sonic Advance? Did you have Sonic Advanced?
I didn't have Sonic Advance, but I played it.
Okay.
And we had a kiosk when I worked at Best Buy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Sonic Advance. It was Sonic Rush or whatever, right?
Oh.
I
know there is a Sonic Advance.
Okay, then I'm out the window with that.
All right. Because that's going to be part of that because I still have quite a big part of my Advance collection. So,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love the Advance.
Oh yeah,
so good.
So was that was your first experience, your launch experience with Game Boy Advance then?
Yeah, I mean, I went into a little bit that games weren't at launch, but yeah, I mean, my experience was Super Mario World 2. And I thought it was good. And then eventually, this isn't at launch either, but eventually I tried to do the backlight mod, which you're welcome, Wicked, because a college student created the backlight mod.
Yeah.
Nintendo got wind of this, bought the patent from him, and then created the SP. So there you go. Shout out to that guy.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you for backlighting the Game Boy Advance and then giving them the whole thing to go ahead and make it visible, because I will say, as much as I do love the Game Boy Advance, like the original one, because I do like the form factor. I got pretty big hands, so it was pretty comfortable to hold and play. That the lack of lighting on that. I got one of the worm lights sitting around here somewhere.
Oh, and I had that too.
Yeah, and it worked okay, but yeah, definitely like when the SP came out, it was just like a breath of just fresh air. It's like, oh my god, I can see everything, and oh, this is even so much better now.
Well, and I did the LCD mod a couple of months. What was it? Less than a year ago. I did it for a customer for the original Game Boy Advance, and it looks fantastic. If you can get that screen fixed like that, dude, that's like it's the best machine because it feels good in the hands, and you're good to go.
Frank saying when he first saw Pokemon Ruby, he crapped, urinated, and vomited simultaneously. That's actually
you don't have to say
impressive.
that. Not you, him.
No, we like it. He did something else too. He just doesn't want to say it.
all the bodily functions all at once.
Complete combustion.
Well, I have to send that to his mom, and then he will not say that ever again.
Yeah, they gotta pull it up on Thanksgiving next year. So,
by the way, you know what, Frank? Everything you say on the internet lasts forever, and I just had it up on screen. Oops.
How could you say this kind of stuff?
Maybe. And just before you get into mine here, Mortal Kombat Advance, that original Game Boy Advance cartridge, runs on an average of about $60 now, which is insane. When I offloaded my copy of it, God, I think I might have got $5 for it. And for years, it sat at like the $5 range because nobody wanted it. I'm sure somebody highlighted it somewhere later on down the line, and then it was like, oh, now everybody wants it. So now it's kind of desirable. And I would like to get it.
It's in the current collection, the Legacy collection that's out.
Oh, is it?
Play that game in there, yeah. And they didn't fix it. So if you want to go get your ass kicked, go ahead.
Go play just something completely, just horribly broken, and that was a famously broken game.
Completely broken game.
Yeah. So, well, I will go ahead and regale you guys with my experience because I was definitely there for launch, and I remember it very well because it was about a month and a half after I'd moved back to Illinois. I'd been all over the place. I'd lived in Florida throughout high school. I moved to Wisconsin for a little bit and ended up back in Illinois late January, early February of 2001. And I knew, obviously, at this point, knew it was coming. I followed all the video game magazines and stuff like that. So I was super excited for this because I loved the entire Game Boy line. I had, I still have an original old school Game Boy floating around here. So does my wife. Still have my original Game Boy Pocket. I don't, unfortunately, have my original Game Boy Color. The one you described, you had the translucent purple one, Wicked. I had the same one.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up trading in my Game Boy Color to put towards money on the Pocket, but I was already working. So of course I had disposable income. I was just shy of turning 21 around that time. So definitely just, young dude, just working and earning money. And I was, playing music and whatnot and stuff too, but gaming was still my thing. And so I knew I had to have this. And I ended up with 2 games at launch. I got the F-Zero and then Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Played the hell out of both of them.
Naturally.
That
sounds right up your alley.
Oh, yeah. And especially Castlevania. It was just so impressive because, it was basically, Symphony of the Night in your pocket. And I loved Symphony of the Night. So it was just like, that was my jam. And I want to say it was probably like a couple of weeks after I ended up getting Mortal Kombat Advance and just laughing hysterically.
Hating life.
How bad it was because it was broken. And like I said, I managed to figure out like you could cheese the computer and just basically it was either a sweep kick or a jump kick. I couldn't remember which one, but you could cheese it all through, even with Shao Kahn, who was like infamously broken in that game. Like you thought he was tough in like MK3 and Trilogy and shit like that. Oh my God. There would be times where you just sit there, you set the game down and immediately he would come at you and it just wouldn't stop until you were dead. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool.
I forgot Street Fighter Advance. I had that. That was a great fucking port.
Street Fighter Alpha 3?
No, Street Fighter Advance. It was Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh, that's right. They did do a port of that.
Yep,
that's right.
I still have that. It's fantastic. I forgot about that. Completely forgot about it.
Capcom hit it out of the park with a lot of games on Game Boy Advance. It was because you had the Mega Man. Mega Man was awesome. Mega Man and Bass wasn't all that great. I mean, it was decent. If you like the play style of Mega Man 8. But yeah, Street Fighter Advance you just mentioned. I just forgot about that. But then they did a port of Alpha 3. which I have, which is awesome. You know, you had the Mega Man Zero series, you had the Mega Man Battle Network series. It got its start there, but yeah, just awesome stuff. And of course, just every couple of weeks when I was getting paid, I'd go pick up a Game Boy Advance game, because at that point, like, I didn't jump into PlayStation 2 at launch, so it was like I didn't have that. I was still playing on my Dreamcast, so I'm getting like Dreamcast and Game Boy Advance stuff. I was really actually waiting for the Nintendo GameCube at that point, but you know, so the Game Boy Advance and what was left coming for the Dreamcast was like wetting my whistle and whatnot.
Yeah.
But let's get into some of these games now. Let's talk about a lot of these games, because a hell of a lot of titles released for the game. There was a lot of shovelware too. Obviously, it was a casual console, so of course you had all your license just dreck all over the place. But there were a lot of just really good original titles here. And you know, Wicked mentioned Sonic Advance. I'll be talking about that because I love that game. But
good game.
So let's go into, like, I don't want to say our top fives yet, but let's just
stick around, poke around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's talk about just like games in general at this point. Again, like I said, this thing was like a little powerhouse and it was impressive. But like over the years as you were playing your Game Boy Advance, so we'll start with Wicked again. What games really caught your attention? What were you mostly playing on this console?
Ooh, for me, you know, I really stuck to the Mario games, whether they were ports. Well, I'm gonna say most of the good ones are ports on this, but I really stuck to the Super Mario games, the Metroid games. I really only touched one. I'm not the biggest Zelda guy, but
Okay.
The one I did play on the Game Boy Advance was what is it? It's the two. It's the Four Swords and the Legend of Zelda.
That would have been Link to the Past.
Link to the Past, and then with the Four Swords. So I had that one, and I mean, I really appreciate it. I kind of liked what they were trying to do on the game. It just didn't really click overall with the fans and stuff like that. So, and I realized right then and there, I'm like, my buddy is a Zelda guy, and I was playing with him. I think you can do it, right? Can't you do it? You can do it Game Boy to Game Boy, but can you do it Game Boy to GameCube on that?
Yes, you absolutely can. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay, word. Because we did that, because I like literally didn't believe him. He said that, and I like didn't believe him. I was like, you're full of shit. He's like, come to my house, because we were on the same bus. I'm like, all right, so I come to his house, and then after that, we started like kind of chilling more. So I ended up we ended up playing that. But I'm trying to think of what else. Really, yeah, really those. I really found my love for Metroid as a series with like the two games on here, well, Zero and Fusion. That just because obviously everything else is just platforming and stuff like that. So I kind of just continued on from my NES days. So that's where I really got my skills from, just continuing on. But then seeing like the Metroidvania, like kind of, you know what I mean, that kind of aspect, and being young and being like, oh, this is different. Oh,
yeah,
okay, like the map, and like kind of it's kind of one of those games for me that's kind of like a little bit of a stepping stone, like where you kind of, it's almost a weird way to say, but you almost like graduate as a gamer, or you look back and it's a game that like that a game made you better as a gamer looking back, and you know what I mean, you learn aspects, game mechanics, and then now going forward, you can play games like that. It doesn't seem so foreign to you. So the Metroid was kind of a big series for me, just overall. But obviously you guys know my love for Super Mario World. So the second one, the second one is
second Advance. Yeah.
Oh man, that was like, that's my love. I love that game. But like I said, the Sonic Advance, played that, great game. Trying to think of what else really I was really trying to. I'll let you guys go, because I'm trying.
I'm gonna get on camera because everybody keeps mentioning Sonic Advance. There it is.
Oh, dude, you know what? Before I hand it off to you guys, because it's really hard to like stick out of my top five. I'll come saying that, so I'll let you guys just rattle some off. But I do want to touch on the aspect of, let's show appreciation for the Game Boy Advance out here, throwing the movies, well, 2 or 3 movies, and the episodes of like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and all that shit, bro. I'm pretty
I
sure
have some of those at work.
Dude, the Shrek 2, like Shrek 2, the movie, I'm pretty sure was on there. I'm like, I had SpongeBob and stuff like that, and
we'll talk about all that in a minute. Let's get what are some of the let's get to Perry. Let's get some of the other games you were playing before we start talking about some of the stuff they actually released on it. That was pretty wild.
Gotcha.
Super Mario Advance 4 with Super Mario Bros. 3. I had the WWF games, WWF Betrayal.
Okay, yeah.
Which is not a wrestling game, but it is a side-scroller beat 'em up.
Yep. It was fun. I actually got a kick out of it.
It's fun. The story is funny, and I mean, it was something other than actual wrestling. It was weird at the same time, but whatever. The Rock looks like a dick in that game too, by the way.
Oh, he does, yeah. And who would have thought that Vince McMahon was going to be the final boss of that game, right? Am I right?
Yeah, he kidnapped his own daughter in the game.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It was a setup.
And now what's wild about that is you mentioned that, and this will kind of goes into that era of gaming in general, because a lot of people, and we've talked about it numerous times, that past generations, but this was really the generation where everybody was really starting to get like super experimental and try just a little bit of everything. Like you mentioned, WWE doing a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Later on I think it was a GameCube, they had, and I believe it was a PS2 and Xbox game as well, but they had like a car combat game with WWE characters in it, and just like, and different franchises were just doing different things. It was just it was a different time, and even with like and going back into the Game Boy Advance, you had stuff like WarioWare, which is stuff that nobody was really doing at the time. So it was fun and exciting. So, and we'll talk more about that we can talk about it now, because I mean, I was playing, Wicked mentioned Metroid. That's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Zero Mission and Fusion, obviously. Played Zelda, stuff, and this and that, and of course Sonic Advance. They had some really good ports, and that'll end up going into my top 5, so I don't want to go too far into it, but it was real impressive with a lot of what they were doing, because they were getting, again, this was more geared towards 16-bit style games, but you did have some stuff that was pushing the hardware. You mentioned Advanced earlier. I still have that title, and that was really good. They did they split it up, but they did a port of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which that was a full 3D game, and you got, even though split between 2 cartridges, you still had a comparable experience to the home console version on the go with that. The Sonic Advance games, that whole series is good.
You know what? WWF Betrayal, I just realized it's on Game Boy Color.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to have to look through my Game Boy ones, but yeah, you're probably right now. I think
up. Yeah.
You know what though? You could play it on the Game Boy Advance, because
that's right. That's what I did.
Another thing,
I played it on my SP. So
yeah, another thing you could do with the Game Boy Advance, and this was huge at the time because it wasn't really happening, backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to get rid of your original Game Boy, your Game Boy Color games, because this played them all. And the only other console that did that at the time, because it's, the base media, was the PlayStation 2 with PS1 games. And even then it was a bit ropey. Some games wouldn't work. This one here, the Game Boy Advance, I don't recall if there were any compatibility issues. I think everything played right out of the box. So you had, if you went and only got like one game at launch, if you held on to the rest of your Game Boy library, you still had a ton of different games you can keep playing. That was huge back then, And then of course everything that the Game Boy Advance did that was new and innovative. You mentioned Wicked, the videos, the video cartridges, episodes and movies and stuff. Yeah, of course it was little grainy, this, that, and the other thing. You're watching it on a Game Boy Advance screen. What else do you expect? But that was still something that nobody was doing at the time. You didn't have portable video players, or they were just starting to come in, and they were very rudimentary. Only maybe 5-10 minute clips at a go. This was actually playing full episodes and everything. So they packed a lot on these cartridges. And Perry, you had mentioned earlier the duplicates. Maybe they weren't the prettiest, but they played really, really good. It didn't feel like
drill dozer that had the rumble pack built in.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So they were doing a lot of different. Yeah, because you had, I think it was Tilt and Tumble had the rumble on it. Kirby Tilt and Tumble. And that was built into the pack. So really going out of their way and trying to be innovative with this. But another thing that was very, very innovative that came to be once the GameCube launched, and Wicked, you mentioned it, was the connectivity. Now, did that mean that you were necessarily playing your games from your Game Boy Advance on your TV screen via the GameCube? No, that would come later. But they each, different games had different things you could do with using the Game Boy Advance as like a controller or a second screen or whatever. Because I remember Zelda Wind Waker, your Game Boy Advance became your Tingle Tuner. And it had, an additional map screen.
Sounds like a sex toy.
It does really. It's awful sounding. And even saying it, I'm like, it's just like even saying it was just kind of like, oh man, this is really treading the line.
This just ain't gonna roll off the tongue, right?
No, it never does. It never does.
Ever.
And then you mentioned the Four Swords. They did a GameCube port of it, and then you could use the Game Boy Advance as separate screens, and people were playing. And one of the games that I did that I enjoyed a whole hell, many a drunken night at my apartment when it released, and I just had everybody over, was Pac-Man Versus.
Ooh.
Which was it came packaged with the original Pac-Man, or was it Pac-Man World 2? Whichever one came out on the GameCube, it was an early game. But what Pac-Man Versus was basically a multiplayer Pac-Man. And so whoever hooked up the Game Boy and was using it via connectivity, you were Pac-Man, and then everybody controlled the ghosts on the screen. Or was it the other way? No. Well, it was the one way or the other. I don't remember, but it was awesome because it's like one person's Pac-Man, everybody else is the ghosts. You're chasing, and the Pac-Man gets caught. Whoever caught him, they get the Game Boy, and then you're Pac-Man. So that was a lot of fun. I tell you, man. Like I said, when I say many a drunken nights with a bunch of people in my apartment, I'm not lying. It was many a times where I thought beer cans were going to fly around the house because, like, nah, that's some bullshit. That kind of shit.
Oh, that sounds like a blast.
Oh my god, it was a hell of a party game, man.
It sounds so simple yet so chaotic.
Yeah, and that's what it was. And it was just, and then of course, obviously the connectivity between multiple Game Boys and whatnot. You could play multiplayer stuff. Like they had that set up for Mario Kart and whatnot. It was an impressive piece of hardware, and just the fact that we're now 25 years, actually almost past the day, because I believe it actually launched like March 20 something back in 2001. So we're maybe a couple of days past its launch. 25-year-old console, and it's wild. And they're built like tanks. Like every single one of my Game Boy Advances in the house work, fire up right away, So it was just like they just don't build them like that no more,
No, they don't.
That kind of stuff. All right, so let's get into it here. Now let's go into like our favorite games, top fives, that kind of stuff. Perry, go ahead and take the lead on this one here. What would you say what would be your top 5 games on the Game Boy Advance?
It's got to be Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario Advance 4, Zelda Link to the Past with the Four Swords, and then I'm going to throw 6 in there. Donkey Kong Country, and I'm going to throw in WarioWare Inc.
All right. There you go. That's a damn good list.
Yeah. Those are my favorites on there.
All right. What about you, Wicked?
All right. These are my top 5. I'm gonna start at 5, going down to 1, baby. This is the list. I got number 5, Metroid Fusion. Come get some, baby. I love that game. Number 4, Frank, let me know if you've played this game. I beat this game, and I fucking love it. SpongeBob the Movie. That is an amazing game. Yeah. Fucking play. At the end, dude, go get that Goofy Goober power. Untouchable. All right. Then the next one we got at number 3 is Super Mario Advance 2. And then at number 2, we have Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. And number 1, the game that I literally played for the whole day and had my Game Boy die in my arms and then pass out and put it on my chest. It's going to be Super Mario Advance. That game was amazing. Just the whole, like I got it with the Game Boy Advance SP. It was the first game I popped in. It was the first game I played with the backlit screen, and it's just changed my life forever, dude. I'll never forget that experience. I'll never forget that day at KB Toy Works, and dear God, it's my favorite. It's my favorite game.
Yeah. And you keep bringing up KB Toy Works. We got to pour one out for KB Toy Works, man. Dude, I love that place, and especially when I moved back here because I lived by a mall, and they had just your regular storefront in the mall. But there was over by the Best Buy where I lived at. It was a strip mall, and they had a KB Toy Works in there, and they were always putting just stuff on clearance. And I was just getting back into collecting stuff too. I had disposable income. I was a young dude. So it was like all the stuff on clearance. So I would just come out with just like armfuls of shit and dumping them in the trunk of my car. So pour it out for KB.
I wish I was older. I wish I was like, I always this mindset that like if I could go back, I would go back to like right when the start of Pokemon happened. Like right when the start of like the Game Boy Colors and all that, and just be this age and be like, go in, like, okay, 1 for me, 1 for the future. 1 for me, 1 for the future, like, and then just preserve it in a closet where no sun and no nothing will touch it, and then bring it out like a time capsule.
Yeah, it would be wild, man.
Also, one of my favorites on it is Namco Museum.
Ooh, that is a good one, dude.
Namco Museum is so good. They had a lot of those sports like that too, because they did a lot of like the old school arcade stuff, a lot of Namco, and then Konami put one out too, which had God, what was it? Was it Galaga, or was it?
They had those.
Yeah, because I remember playing the shit out of that, and then it had Russian Attack, and then Yar Kung Fu. So I still have that, and that was. Spent a lot of time, but they did a lot of that too, where it was like you were getting like, you were getting closer again, Super Nintendo level stuff, and then maybe a bump up because it was just the stuff that this console was capable of. Gonna go ahead and get on camera one more time for my 5 and an honorable mention, and I'm not sure, I wouldn't even call it honorable mention. These are my favorites, and I'm probably even missing a couple because I loved so many games, and these are going to be in no particular order, but we've got Metroid Zero. Like I loved Fusion. I loved Fusion a lot, but the fact that they completely redid the first Metroid and you had a map, which made that just infinitely better. And then they added more stuff, which built into the second Metroid game and talked about how she got her new suit and everything. That was just, it was awesome. And then just running around and just, I think they called it the Zero Suit Samus, where it was just her. And that was pretty wild because that was a stealth section, and then you had the additional Ridley fight and stuff. It was just excellent stuff. And consider these all games you should play before you die, because at this point, it's like all of these are going to be just so they're just all bangers from start to finish, man. This and that. So then my next one, of course, Castlevania Circle of the Moon. The first one. I have all three of the Castlevanias, but this one still for me hits the best. I liked all three, but just for whatever reason, maybe it was because it was the first. Who knows? So yeah, we got that one, and then we got this one here. Contra Advance, Healing Wars EX or DX. I'm trying to see. I ain't got my glasses on. EX. Which is an interesting version of Contra 3 because it wasn't totally Contra 3. It wasn't the Super NES game. You had all of this. They were all side-scrolling levels. So all the side-scrolling stuff from Contra 3, and then they threw in, I want to say it was 3 levels from Hardcore. So you had the train battle, and you fought that boss, and that game is tough as nails. Like and of course I spent a lot of time working on it and trying to beat it, and I have beaten it, but it's just tough as nails. That's as Contra as you're gonna get. And so that's definitely one. And then we got, of course, I showed it earlier, Sonic Advance. I loved all three of them, but the first one I think was just like it was pure. It was this and that. And Perry mentioned Doom earlier, and of course, being that I'm such a Doom fanatic, the first Doom, I had at one point Doom 2. I don't know what happened to it, but the first Doom I always liked better than Doom 2 anyway. And then I mentioned it earlier, and like I said, I don't have the first one anymore. I had both at one point, and I think I'm going to go and attempt to reacquire the first one, but this is Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. This is the second part of Deadly Alliance. And now you look this one up online, and it's expensive. And it's funny because I got it brand new, and it brand new Game Boy Advance games back then, they were like $30-$40. I spent no more than $40 on it. Now it's like a $300 cartridge, and I'm looking at it like, God damn.
Wow.
It is. And that's the thing too. Go ahead and jump back off camera here. That's the thing too about this stuff is that some of these cartridges, it's insane to think about how high they've appreciated in value. Cause like we were just talking about Mortal Kombat Advance, as shitty as and as broken as that was, you're going to spend $60 on it. All of like the stuff that isn't like licensed garbage, shovelware, you're still spending almost brand new price on these games in the used market. And it just kind of goes to show how well received these games were and, how popular they were, because they wouldn't be in such high demand and demand such high secondary prices if it was trash,
That's true.
and they hold their value. And it's just, even with the consoles, like you can't find a Game Boy Advance SP now for under $130, $140, and that's refurbished. Trying to get one in new condition, you're going to spend about $200. The original one, I want to say you're spending about $150. So it's just like it's insane to think of because they weren't expensive at launch. I want to say, God, what was it? Was it $99? I think for the original, and I think it was like $130 for the SP, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, it weren't super expensive, but it's just, I mean, we all know that Nintendo holds value and whatnot. Yep. We know that, but it's just wild to see, So let's go, with some closing thoughts before we get into like our 2 shenanigans stuff that we normally do. So overall closing thoughts on the Game Boy Advance there, Wicked. What do you got?
Ooh, for me, it was just absolutely game changing. It's like almost a core memory for me in handheld gaming, because I was still young, to be honest, and just going from the Game Boy Color right to the Game Boy Advance SP, having the backlight, and then from there on, we just you never saw anything without a backlight. it was just such an experience. I went with my mom to the store. You know what I mean? Like I picked out the one I wanted. I got the game I wanted. And it's still one of my favorite games to this day. You know what I mean? And it's like 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's something I kind of hold near and dear to me. It may sound stupid, but it's just one of those memories. If you ask me about it, I'll tell you every detail because it's just, I didn't want to let that thing go. It was like when you win something at the state fair and you bring it home and you just like, you sleep with it. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like,
right.
Why are you sleeping with your basketball? It's because I won it. You know what I mean?
I won it. It's mine.
It's mine. I can't let go. But yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Perry? Some closing thoughts on it, man. What do you think?
I want to mention 2 more games really quick.
Okay.
Power Rangers Dino Thunder, which I have downstairs, and Power Rangers Ninja Storm, which I also have downstairs. Great games on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Closing arguments. Closing arguments.
Closing
thoughts.
How do you plead, sir?
Guilty. Closing thoughts on the Game Boy Advance. A lot of people don't realize this, but I caught this years ago. It was a precursor to the DS, obviously, but I mean that in games were starting to become bigger portably. You know what I mean? Like people were investing more in portable gaming.
Yep.
With stories. They were investing more time into that. Because, you know, with the original Game Boy, no one really sat there and played the game for hours on end. You literally just took it with you. If you went in the car or something, you would play a little bit.
It was a car trip thing, yeah.
Right. But I think Game Boy Advance started that trend where people were actually playing games for hours on end on their Game Boy Advance, on their portable. And that went right into the DS, which we all know DS there were games that were huge on the DS that people just got into.
Oh yeah. It was
a franchise that even started on the DS that might have come to console later or never came to console, but they have a cult following on the portable.
Yeah.
So, and I think that started with Game Boy Advance because they were able to do bigger and better things on it. Whereas the Game Boy Color was limited, and Game Boy Color, I mean, God bless it for trying to do something, but you look at those graphics now, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was definitely 8-bit, you know.
Yeah, I think Game Boy Advance, obviously, that was the spiritual successor to the Super Nintendo. And if anything, that like kept the Super Nintendo spirit alive as far as the big games, the big stories, and I don't know. So
all of that stuff, yeah. All right. And I'm going to riff off of that a little bit for my closing thoughts before we move on, because you're absolutely right. Being the precursor to the Nintendo DS and more people, it was a different time then. And like you said, the original Game Boy was more built for like car trips and time and stuff like that. Some people maybe spent some more time on it because it's all they had, this and that, but the experiences themselves were geared more towards those bite-sized kind of things. You didn't get a full console experience out of the original Game Boy, but what we were getting with the Game Boy Advance was absolutely that full console experiences. Some maybe a little altered. Contra Advanced, Alien Wars Advanced. It didn't have the top-down stages, but it was a full Contra game. They released a bunch of different Final Fantasies, which at the time, I was still regularly playing JRPG stuff, old school Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior and shit like that. And you had, they ended up, and one I still have, because I have a couple, you had Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, which was 1 and 2, and this was the first time Final Fantasy 2, the original 2, not 4, was available in the States. And that was the full experience. And then Final Fantasy Tactics got its start.
Did
because
you like that one a lot.
Oh, Tactics, love Tactics. I thought it was really good, and it launched. Go ahead.
Yep. My buddy, my good friend, the Demon Damio, he was all over that game, and I don't think that man put it down for a long time. Everywhere we went,
and it was wild. And I want to say it launched side by side with its PS1 counterpart. Now, I don't recall if I have the PS1 tactics or not. I might still, I don't know. I'll have to look. But I know I definitely still have that because as I was pulling games out of where I store them, I was like, oh, there's Final Fantasy Tactics, there's Dawn of Souls, stuff like that. And then, like the Battle Network games, that entire franchise was built on the Game Boy Advance, and then it carried over into Star Force for the DS. But those were full RPGs. You got more Pokemon games, which were more time sinks, stuff like that. And it was, just impressive to just kind of see where it was going. And like I said earlier, it was exciting. It was like this, we were at the forefront then of like this new gen. I believe was like what do they call the 6th gen? I think it was, where we had the stuff like the PS2, the GameCube, the Xbox. Game Boy Advance was absolutely a part of that because not only are we seeing the home consoles growing and getting more advanced, intended, right? But the Game Boy Advance was seeing portable gaming become more advanced. It was big, bigger titles, more full experience comparable to the console. So it was absolutely something like I said, I had this in my Dreamcast, and that was me buying time until I got to the GameCube and the original Xbox, because it was like, okay, but it's still, even in between, if I couldn't get at the TV to play a console, I had when I was at home, I should say, because I was, obviously I was doing other things as well, but whenever I was at home, if I didn't have the TV, I was playing on the Game Boy Advance, and I remember it very fondly. I remember walking in. I went to Toys R Us because it was right down the street from where I was at. Got mine, and then of course we had it was, I don't think they had switched over to GameStop yet. I think it was still Funko Land by me.
Yeah,
we had the Funko Land and stuff like that. So it was exciting, man. And then on top of it, with all of these experiences kind of growing at that point, it was also, we were seeing gaming become a bit more accepted. It went from being a, kind of niche, oh, the nerds play video games. You're now seeing more and more people. It's becoming more and more acceptable to the point where we're at now, where basically everybody plays video games, and this was the start of it. That gen, that time period, you were seeing a lot of this stuff pop up in places where you wouldn't normally see it. You would see, people on like MTV talk about it. You would see people on like, later on when Spike TV became a thing, they were talking about it there. Obviously, the first Game Awards showed up on Spike TV, but this is where it was all beginning, and it's so cool to think about that the Game Boy Advance was a big part of that because it helped make a lot of this, I guess you would say, more socially acceptable, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there are actually a lot of you notice like a lot of like movies were games as well. If like those were like really, and a lot of them were like pretty decent on the GBA. Plus, here's one thing I totally just, because I wanted one at the time when I was flipping through. I think probably with Game Informer. I used to get the magazine, and I'm looking through it. I remember the Game Boy Micro. I never got my hands on one. Yeah, I know they had screen problems, and I think they had like a bumper problem. But you'll probably know more than I do, Perry. But I always wanted one, but I've never held one. You know what I mean? I've always just wanted to.
We had a million of them at Best Buy that one Christmas. Nobody bought them, and now they're worth like $500-$600.
Oh, it's insane to see the resale on.
Yeah,
and I did want, and it's funny because I did want one, but it's also. Like here, and I'll even show you because I always talk about I've got like catcher's mitts for fucking hands here. Again, bring up Game Boy Advance. You know what I mean? It's like I can wrap my hand around it.
You can wrap around it.
So it's like I would crush a Game Boy Micro.
Oh yeah, dude, you'd be double mashing buttons.
Yeah, just be like, but. Yeah, I still wanted one just for the novelty of it because that was basically put on like a keychain loop or whatever.
I mean, if you did get it, dude, we'd be gold. We'd be like, all right, I'm gonna sell this motherfucker for $600.
Yeah, no kidding.
The highest bidder. Look at that thing, sexy. I kind of like the blue and the green, to be honest. I think those two look the best.
I got both. I got the plate. I got the blue plates on the Slim over here.
Oh fuck, dude. Dude, do you have it close enough to where you can see it on? I haven't seen it on the plates.
Well, hang on. So hang on a second. We putting the Game Boy Advance to bed then?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay.
I don't really have much. I can't think of anything else I have to say on it.
This thing's heavy.
Because we may as well, because we're into hour 2 now. We may as well go into what's in Perry's sack here, and we've got PlayStation 5 side plates.
That looks fucking hot, bro.
That is nice.
Hey, yo.
So the top is glossy. It's like a clear glossy, and the bottom is matte. I can't
even use these
on both sides.
I can't even use these. I have a fucking Pro.
Because they don't make them for the Pro. They only make them for the They really got to get on that. The only place they made for the Pro with like Ghost of Tsushima plates, it looks like somebody pissed on them.
Dude. Some guy makes them on fucking on Amazon, and like a lot of people are buying them. I got good reviews. I won the gray ones.
Blue plates on my Pro
Ooh.
From Amazon.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. That looks but they actually, you see here, they didn't leave it blank. They actually made the logo.
I noticed that. I was like, wow, they went like the extra mile. Yeah. It did that because that actually adds effect to it. It may be little, but it adds. It adds.
Makes it look classy.
Yeah, it's more than just the whipped cream and a cherry. Look at that.
And this is all glossy, man.
Does it feel slippery glossy though?
Yes.
Like how you grab it? So
I don't know, man. It feels good.
Or
it doesn't feel like your hands are gonna sweat on it. Like it feels good. Like you're holding a piece
got like
of
that
quality.
Nice like. Does it feel like it almost feels like a football or a basketball? It's got like that little bit of that tacky grip.
No.
Okay, maybe like an Xbox fanboy's butt cheeks got that tacky grip.
No, not like that. That would be a soggy grip.
Yeah, it'd be a flat grip, like built like a box.
Even the touchpad is glossy on this one.
Ooh,
oh wow,
ooh. The only thing that's matte is the middle right here.
Perry, you can't be touching it like that in front of all of us.
Getting everybody fat in.
I think my body temperature just rose up about 5 degrees.
It feels like you're holding like a glass controller. Like it's crazy.
That's pretty cool. The analog sticks the same, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
nothing different.
Sticks.
Okay, word. I just didn't know if they were indented or was it concaved or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Same thing.
Yep, it's got the inverted nipples.
For some people, I guess.
So, but you're saying it's very slick feeling as you play it?
Yeah, it feels like quality. And you know what?
Nice.
You spend a lot of money on this, and it actually feels like, okay, I got my money's worth, kind of. Wow. I mean, no controller's worth like $90. Let's face it. But
yeah, call a spade a spade, especially the DualSense.
They've made some shitty controllers for that much money, but this is the one that you want to buy, the premium one.
Okay.
It feels premium in your hands. That's all I'm saying. And it feels like it's always like cool. So again, like your hands aren't gonna sweat on this thing.
All right.
I don't know.
I like that.
Whatever.
I mean, I gotta buy a new one anyway. My white.
We got red, blue, and green.
Some serious drift.
I got the other ones over there somewhere, but they're in the box. I gotta open them.
Dude, don't get me started about drift.
Dude, you want to know? I knew my controller had drift, but I almost fucking chucked it across the room for even more drift because I'm playing Diablo 4, and when you want to fast travel in Diablo 4, it has a little bar above your head, and it fills like very quickly. But you can't be moving. You can't be moving. So I have to like keep tension on the stick, and if I'm not paying attention, I'm like, why am I not fucking moving? Like, why am I not fast traveling? Oh my god! Man, and like my stick drift.
Before I got my controller fixed, it was so bad to the point where, like, I was playing Doom Dark Ages, and I was basically spinning in circles.
Wow.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So what else you got in your sack for us there, Perry? Because you're busting out controllers, you were busting out side plates. You got anything else?
Damn, son.
You know what? I do have something else. Something that's going to get a lot of people angry.
Uh-oh.
Fucking jet black 12-inch dildo. and a game.
Okay,
too.
I don't mess with stuff like that. But if you want to show us that next week, you're more than free to do that.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna need that tomorrow.
Oh Lord. Here it is.
Oh my God! Look at it.
For
He sold out.
$250.
You sold out. You sold out. You sold out. You
Hey,
sold
I didn't
out.
sell out because I didn't
I'm
pay
just
full
kidding, I
price.
know.
I didn't go out and seek it. Someone brought it to me.
Oh man, he just
And
went.
you said
He just
250
flipped
bones,
sides.
huh?
Someone
Dude, he
came
flipped
in.
sides.
Someone called, said, "You take consoles for trade, right?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I got the Xbox ROG. I'll bring it in." I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Oh God, what's this guy gonna? What's he gonna want?" So he comes
Right.
in, and he's telling me it does all this crazy stuff or whatever, and he just can't. He doesn't have time anymore to play it or whatever. He only had it for a couple of weeks. His kids played Minecraft on it or whatever.
Whoa.
So I had to charge it because it was out of battery. So I charge it.
Okay.
I go to log in, and it's under his account. And we're trying to sign him out, and it won't let him sign out.
Oh Jesus.
It turned into this whole thing. And I was like, I'll give you 400 store credit or 250 cash. He goes, let me talk to my wife. He comes back in, and I'm thinking, all right, she's gonna say no. He comes back in. I'll take the cash.
No kidding.
So I was like,
So-
all
Right,
right.
baby.
So
I guess
part
I'll
of
mess
me
with
is,
it.
yeah. So part of me is kind of like, because that's obviously resale value, and you're and I'm not going to dig into how you run your store or nothing, but I kind of know how that I have an idea how that operates. So the resale isn't all that high, then, is it?
Well, you can buy these open box. They have them between $430 and $360 or something.
No kidding.
So again, I'm not going to give less than open box. You know what I mean? Because I had to
Right.
sell it for around that price too. So
Yeah.
I just threw a
Yeah,
number
that's-
out there, and he took it, and I was like, "All right," and that was it.
Well, there it is. And now, have you messed with it at all?
Yeah. Number one,
You sat on it?
because I guess the guy was a Jay and Silent Bob guy. Every time I turn it on, the fans blow out a pot smell.
Oh my God.
So it's like I'm fucking playing and getting a high. I guess. I don't know. I never did pot or anything in my life, but I'm just like, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. No jokes aside. All the jokes aside here. This thing.
No jokes aside.
No jokes.
This thing sucks.
This thing is a pain in the ass. Okay, I know people don't want to
Is it?
hear that. They want, ooh, it's a console. Ooh, my Xbox. Ooh,
It makes
ooh,
very
ooh,
severe.
then you go out and fucking buy it and deal with it. I'm going to tell you one thing. So the guy, I gave him the money. He left. He had to come back in the store because we couldn't log out of his account. Then he gave me his phone number. He goes, call me if you still can't log out. I called him in an hour. I still couldn't log out. I needed his Microsoft BitLocker code to log him the
my.
fuck out of this thing, which you're not allowed to give anybody your BitLocker code. If you know that, giving your BitLocker code is like giving them access to your computer, like the
Oh my
keys to your
God.
computer, right?
Dear God, Perry, you hold so much power.
Just to reset, to factory reset this thing, I needed his BitLocker code. So I call the guy. He's on the phone with me. He logs in. He gives me his 46-digit BitLocker code.
Hey, yo.
Wow.
I type it in. It factory resets the goddamn thing. Beautiful.
Okay.
However, then it's got to do a BIOS update. Then it's got to do a Windows update. Then it's got to do an ASUS update. Then it's got to do an Armory Crate update. It took 2 fucking hours just to get in after it's all said and done to get into the Windows experience, which is
Oh, wow.
Xbox mode, as they're going to call it in a couple of weeks.
Xbox mode.
Again, out of the 989 owned games that I have in my digital Xbox library, only 60 of them were playable, downloadable, I should say. So again, you got to fucking fix that if this is going to be the Helix.
Yeah, no kidding.
I added Steam, downloaded a game. I go to launch it, and it goes up downloading dependencies. So I'm downloading more files.
Oh my God.
It's not it's not a simple experience as people had led everyone to believe. And we heard those stories, but I'm telling you now from experience.
Yeah. And you're tech savvy. Like you're tech savvy, Perry.
Yeah.
That is a key point in this whole thing you're bringing up.
That's the thing.
You
I know what's
what you're
going on with
doing.
these updates, but the casual person
Yes.
who's fucking hearing all these idiots turn around and say, hit your next
Tell them.
they're gonna buy this thing and be like, holy fucking shit, can I play anything on here? How do I work this? They're gonna be lost where I understand what's actually happening. They're doing all the updates,
Right.
and I'm used to that, but it's annoying. It's not you can't just buy this thing off the shelf, turn it on, and fucking start playing games. You got to do a bunch of shit first.
Yeah, this isn't the Gameboy Advance, guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dude,
People out
you're
there.
done playing the game
play.
before one of those updates hits this thing on a Game Boy Advance. Anyway, once you get it up and running, the issue that you're going to run into is a lot of the games aren't playable. A lot of the games aren't play anywhere that you won't.
Yeah.
So then they allow you to put Steam on there, which again, that's a band-aid. Because like I have RE9 on PC.
Right.
And I have it on Xbox, but I can't play the Xbox version because it's not play anywhere. So I would have to log into Steam and play it on there, which I did. But it's like, okay, if I own it on Xbox and it's not play anywhere, I have to buy it again on Steam. You can't even stream that game on here. They don't allow that. That game is not play anywhere at all. You can't even stream that one.
God.
So you need to fucking have all your games in all different places to play this thing. And that's the grand plan, I guess, right? And anybody that tells me, "Ooh, he's lying," whatever, go fuck yourself. Go buy one of these and make a goddamn tutorial and fucking show me where I where I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong. Make a tutorial. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
We're waiting.
Go to the store. Go out and buy one of these things. I got a good deal because I didn't fucking need it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Man. That's kind of because all right, because here's where I'm going to go with this, because when you said once you started talking about what you got it for, and the open box and resale, I thought, no, maybe this might be like a good used option to experience it, but it just seems like it's just more of a headache.
Yeah.
Yes. In order to start with, yes. If you can get this for like 200, 250, just get it. Just to mess with it. This retails for $5.99.
Yeah.
No fucking way, buddy. No way.
Ooh.
For $4.99. No
Barry,
way.
Can you answer that? What he said? Can you answer what
for $3.99
said?
No way.
Hang on. We got Dennehy here.
I'm interested. Yep. What up, Dennehy?
If you have so the guy had on his Windows account all the factor authentication things.
Oh.
And you couldn't
do it.
He couldn't just sign out. There was no option on the experience for him to sign out.
Okay.
Wow. That's weird.
So I went in. There's a way to do the factory reset. When you start the machine, you got to hold the volume button down or something. And it takes you to the BIOS, and therefore you can factory reset. But the problem is because he had all his authentication 2-step factor things on here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In order to factory reset, I needed his BitLocker code. So if you have a Microsoft account and you have all your security stuff, that's going to attach to here. And then you're going to have to enter all that stuff in to unlock it.
Oh my God. So, but it wouldn't be as bad of a problem if it was just him selling it. He could probably remove it himself versus him communicating it through.
He didn't even know what to do. He just thought that he thought he could sell it to me and I could just use his account because he was like, "Oh yeah, you got an extra month on Game Pass on there." And I'm like, "That's not how this works, buddy."
Yeah,
you sign out, somebody else signs in.
Being naive.
I got you.
Right.
Yeah,
he didn't know.
That's
but
weird.
Again, he was a casual guy. He's not like a hardcore like we are. Like he doesn't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But his Windows account had all that shit on there. And he just sold it to me, walked out of the place thinking, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was a little further. Thank God he knew to go to the computer. He did it quick too on the phone. Like he was already home or whatever. But he gave me that code like within 5 minutes. I was in. I was factory resetting everything. And by the way, a factory resets from the cloud. So usually these things have a partition on the SSD that will restore the console or whatever quickly. So you don't need to be connected to the internet. This required me to be on the cloud for all that.
Oh my!
And it downloaded all the installation files directly from the cloud. And there's nothing you can do because you're in the BIOS menu.
Okay.
Damn.
So this is a little complicated. But again, once you get it up and running, you can use it. But it gets kind of boring when I can't play all of the top games that I own.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is for that to be really worth it, obviously, if you're going to go buy one used, it has to be factory reset from the get-go, like a blank slate.
Yeah, if you buy open box from the store, chances are they already factory reset it before they returned it. They took the return.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you buy this off marketplace, just beware that it needs to be, before you hand any cash, make sure that you're at the sign-in screen and you can sign in.
And then Pickles here brings up a real good point, and this is where I was going to go with it for the next part. They should have gotten all the games play anywhere before making a console. What good is an Xbox console if you can't play your library on it? Which I agree with. So at this point, even if it is, Xbox experience, what have you, it's more worth it to just be running like running like Steam on it, because Steam is more, you have a bigger, access to your bigger library than you would Xbox, because not everybody is going to have every single one of their titles play anywhere. Yeah. Sounds like a whole lot of hoops you got to jump through.
And this is what's probably going to be the Helix in that box. The same thing that you're going to get.
Yeah, that's
going to be.
Yeah, and I was saying that when. Yeah, then I was saying that too when they were talking about it, when we were talking about initially before they changed the code name. It's just, again, because eventually I'd like to look into something like that, like a handheld PC, something like the Lenovo Go, or what's the other one? I can't remember. The Steam Deck, obviously.
I want the MSI. I want the MSI Club bad. Yeah. Like before they all went up, I was really considering it, and I didn't jump on it, but if I do, it's going to be the MSI Claw one. The MSI Claw.
For anybody saying, "Oh, you ripped that guy off," I made an offer. I said 400 credit or 250 cash. He took the cash. He could have said no, thank you, and walked out.
Money talks.
I didn't hold a gun to him and say, "You're going to give me $250 for that," and he said, "Here you go."
Yeah.
So kiss my motherfucking ass.
Yeah. It just, because again, like I was saying, because I was, eventually I want to look into something like that too. And I know some of them you can even hook up to the TV screen so you can even play them on your TV and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
But it just, and I was even thinking
too.
Oh, you can dock it?
Yeah, I think you can dock all of them.
It. Okay. But yeah, just one of those things where it's like, what's going to be the inexpensive option? It just seems like even if it is inexpensive, you just got a lot of hoops to jump through before you even mess with it.
And by the way, when you turn this on, you need to log into your Windows account. You need to type in your 4-digit code to get in. You can't just turn this on and you're playing Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll do it right now.
And then from right there, everything you said after, like, earlier makes sense, because when you log in, it's bringing all your settings from probably your account, which is on your computer, right over to this. Yeah. And then maybe you don't want to be as secure, like you said, and like you got all the 2-step authentications and all that shit.
I gotta log in.
Oh, he went right in.
I gotta log in.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my password.
Oh yeah, and you know what? These things always don't work right. So you have to hit I forgot my PIN. And then it boots you back out. And then you just say, I want to enter my PIN. And then you can enter your PIN again. That's a glitch with Windows. Because this happens on the Lenovo as well.
Okay.
Damn.
So now I'm finally in, and I'm in Xbox. And as you can see, a majority of these games that I pulled up are my Steam games that I installed.
Yeah.
Where's my Xbox stuff? Oh yeah, and it has
Watch
a
it,
problem
it's right
sorting
here.
your. It's supposed to add all your games together, and it has a problem doing that sometimes.
Yes.
That's pretty
Yeah,
lit.
so I have
Pretty lit.
2 Xbox games on here, and the rest are all Steam games.
Wow. Well, you know, I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, just good to be informative, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Marketing at its finest.
yeah. That's a bit depressing, I suppose.
Yeah, not the greatest. Not the greatest.
Once you
But
know what you're doing,
so-
it's fine. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you're a casual guy
you gotta be
and you
savvy.
believe that dumb campaign that everything's on Xbox, and you ran out and bought this, you're like, holy shit, wait, what is this? This is not, this is just a portable PC. It's all it is.
Yes, sir.
It's just like
Yeah.
the Lenovo.
Which
It's the
is-
same thing.
yeah, which is what it was, which is what everybody knew what it was anyway. But yeah, oh, there's that. So there's your experience with the ROG Ally Xbox. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
you know what you're doing. You'll be all right. If you don't, you may want to do something else, I suppose. But
True.
anywho, we're gonna go ahead and move on from that. And of course, we all know what time it is because basically we covered Game Play Before You Die while we were talking about the Game Boy Advance anyway. But I'm going to shout out again the chat just firing off on all cylinders as you all always do. Piggles is in the room. We got, of course, Frank's still hanging out. I saw some names in here I didn't recognize as I'm scrolling through here. We got Love and Peace 33. First time I'm seeing you in here. Forget about it now. I won't forget about you. You tuning in. Much love to you. We got Dennehy in the house with, of course, Chrissy Bakley, Talos Ray. Everybody's up in here and having a good time, as we all should be. But here's where I'm going to tell everybody in the chat. Dizzy Delta, of course, in the house. Just everybody here. And much love to you. My name is Captain Ketch. Great to see you in here tonight, buddy. RWK88. But we know what time it is. Everybody. Yeah, it's Stevie Mac, of course. I can't forget about you, brother. Get your questions ready because we will have the man of the hour popping in, Game Pass man. So let's make sure you get your questions ready for him and be ready to go. Oh, yeah. And my horrible oh, yeah for Talos over there. I'll get it eventually. So make sure you got them questions ready. As of course, he makes us wait like we're getting ready for a date here. Man, I will say before he does come on though, that's like I said, when talking about it, and I'm like, oh well, if it's not that expensive, maybe that'd be the route I go with checking out the ROG Ally, and it's just like, oh.
If you can get it for 200, 250, I would say go grab one. But
yeah,
until then, anything higher than that, I wouldn't even bother. And that's why I wasn't expecting the guy to say yes. I was just like, I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think he's going to do it. And he wanted the money. So there you go.
Denny, he coming in here saying he's pissed that he missed the Game Boy Advance talk. But that's what replays are for, buddy. And you can still chime in. And if you want to, go ahead and even drop in the comments there, Denny. Name off some of your favorites in Game Boy Advance too. Just get them in there, and like I said, replays. That's what they're there for.
I'm gonna tell you something funny, and I wish Wicked was able to hear this.
I'm right here, bitch.
The guy gave me the box and everything for this, and then there's a little compartment in the box. He goes, "That's where the little stand is that they give you." And I'm thinking, all right, they give you a little plastic stand. Bro, it's a fucking little piece of cardboard. That's the stand they give you for a $600 product.
Oh
my god, dude. Oh yeah,
fucking cardboard.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I bought this case from Amazon. It was $24.
No, there you
go. Good steal. All right, I think he's here. Hold on a second.
Oh,
huh?
It's a bird. It's a plane. No. It's Game Pass, man. And as you can see, I am in the basement of the Microsoft office where the almighty Satya, I love you, Satya, where he is now going to transport me to the Phil's current location so we can find this motherfucker once and for all.
Oh, dear Lord.
Me,
Where are we even going?
He was at the Golden Banana. I found him in the champagne room, let's just say having a little bit more fun than he should have. And then I boosted down the door. You would have thought it was a Scarface movie back there where you should have seen the powder. Next thing you know, he threw a baby powder bomb at me. I couldn't see. It was all in my eyes. He made a run for the back door, and he just peeled the rubber as he just drove away in this sweet-ass M64 Impala. I don't know who the hell was in there, but let me just... Satya, send me to Phil's current location! All right, everybody.
He was rolling in a 6'4"? Damn.
All right. We're about to... hold on, we're transforming. We're going.
What the hell is happening?
I have no idea, but I'm here for it.
Going to where Phil is. It's coming. It's right here. Yeah. All right. It's
An airport?
Oh, geez.
I don't know if that's a joke you want to be making right now, buddy.
Oh my God! I'm never gonna.
As long
find
as
Phil in here.
That's not a joke you want to be making right now.
It's gonna take me 12 hours. Oh, gee, you know what? I got time to answer some questions with the chat and the boys. So you know what? Let's just start rifling them off. Let's just start rifling them off. Come on, guys. Keep the questions.
Well, Delos is looking for something from you.
Give me an oh yeah Game Pass, man. All right, let me see. Hey, y'all want to hear? Y'all want to hear an oh yeah? Y'all want to hear an oh yeah?
They're frozen in time, Zach Morris.
Oh God!
Oh yeah!
Oh man! Well, I got one for you, Game Pass, man.
Oh yeah! What's up?
I got one for you. So Barry just gave his thoughts on the ROG Ally X here and everything that he's experienced with that. How do you feel about all of that?
Ooh, you know what? Couldn't agree more. Take that piece of shit and just send it in a fucking landfill with the rest of the ET cartridges.
Oh, the fucking pot is blowing in my nose over here from the fans.
Let me tell you, sir, that may hold a little bit of Game Pass, but it does not represent what Daddy stands for. You can take that into an Xbox, dude. What the flippity flip flap
Everything
is that,
an Xbox. Oh,
it looks
Billy.
like something. Not only does it
from Cable Guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! Rub them pepperonis. Num 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 num.
Oh, Billy.
If you'd ask me when the boys are over ordering pizza, I think Perry's the pepperoni guy.
Oh God. Oh, we got one coming in from Chrissy Bakley.
All right. Chrissy Bakley. All right. Game Pass, man. Are you friend with the Hamburglar? You know, me and Hamburglar go way back. We chill in the ball pit, hang out like it's a jacuzzi. You know, we take shots. We do weird things. Eat, pigs in a blanket. Maybe make out. I don't know. But yeah, me and him, we go way back. We're not boys with Grimace. Grimace can take a hike. That guy's a loser. That guy's always scared of everything. Who the hell wants a scaredy cat around?
Baseballs. The guy plays on the Mets now.
Oh God!
Yeah, is that right, dude? That team fucking sucks. Jesus, Sweet Mary and Joseph. Yeah, no, me and Hamburger, we're boys.
We got Stevie Mac coming in.
Game Pass, man. Does Satya only keep you on the payroll just so he has someone that's sick and twisted enough to change his smelly diapers? No. He pays me quite fine for changing those smelly diapers. And I would rather not explain to you the things that We do after those smelly diapers are changed. But let me tell you, I am paid very well. IOUs are just as good as money. I will tell you that.
Hey, Game Pass, man. Will Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson win an Academy Award for playing Satya in the Microsoft movie?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, he's not going to win anything because, well, you know, Microsoft never wins shit. So they ain't going to win shit. But let me tell you, they're going to hype it up like he's going to. They're going to hype him up. He's going to just become Satya.
All right, we got Mental 9R coming in.
Oh,
what's up, Mental?
Dude. Mr. Maple Syrup himself. How's it sticking over there on the other side of the border, my friend? Oh, shit. Why do I always get here with this guy's on? Damn you, Game Pass, man. Damn you to hell. Well, I got news for you, Mental 9R. I hold you so near and dear to my heart that sometimes I wake up or I just jet on over in the middle of the night, maybe like 3 a.m., give or take, and I just roll up to your house and I like to watch you sleep. You don't know it, but now you know it. So sleep tight today, baby. I'm going to check up on you later tonight with my little lantern.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Just leave some maple syrup. I'll be like Santa Claus. Game Pass man comes in your house. Leave me some maple syrup. That's all I want. I want to take it on the go.
Maple syrup.
I don't want to know with the maple syrup.
Right.
I like maple syrup.
That's right.
Oh man.
Right, baby. That is correct. That is correct. Is that right, people? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at everyone's going crazy for maple syrup. Maple syrup.
Oh God. Anybody else got any questions for Game Pass?
No. What do we got? What do we got? Anything else?
Let's see.
Oh, what does he say? What Mental 9R just said something.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, you better wear a snowsuit and snowshoes. It's giving her here, snowing like it's the middle of winter, baby. Don't worry, you worry, my friend. I am ready for the shrinkage weather. I will be wrapped tighter than the bubble wrap guy from the Little Giants.
You always have shrinkage. You're good.
It's the water is cold. The water is cold, Perry. I told you to confidence.
Oh my God.
Anywho, yeah. So yeah, you know, I'm ready. I'll be all wrapped up. I'll be in my little Game Pass man green and black onesie, and I'll be ready to hit the slopes. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just me and Dan. And yes, you know, it's going to be a great time. Am I right, people? Oh, my God. This guy's great back here. Am I right? Yeah, Game Pass.
Oh, my God. That's incredible.
I don't know if he's actually aware of the joke that he's making right now.
I think he's fully aware. I think.
We are entertaining the people that are going to be here. Hey, who's going to miss their flight? Everybody.
Who's going to pay those workers?
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Hold on.
43 days with no pay.
Who's getting paid?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's getting paid. All right.
This would be the one that does it, right, Perry? This would be the one that gets me nuked from orbit, and we aren't even being colorful about it.
I hate to see
this is the precursor to
that.
Does Game Pass
do something crazier next
week.
Does Game Pass man do a body good? I mean, depending on whose body it is, if it's slender like Phil and Satya's,
I think he's talking about milk.
Damage.
Yeah.
You ever seen a superhero from Subscription City just absolutely belly flop dive onto a bed for a hand? Because I can.
Bro, you're gonna have to be a guest on his channel and then just take your clothes off.
God.
He's gonna nuke this channel. You got to nuke his channel back.
Yeah,
nuke my channel. Come on, my channel. Come on, Game Pass man's channel, and just whip out your flash drive and just start whipping it around. That'd be great for everybody to see.
Hey, that's not a flash drive. That's expansion storage slot.
Oh, sweet. It better be an SSD.
Oh, Lord. Well, we got time
man.
for one more Game Pass, man, and we got Mental coming at you with one more here.
Game Pass, man. Have you been playing RE9 on Xbox, or are you cheating with PS Plus, man, and playing on the Pro? You know what's wicked funny about that, Mental? I don't know if you like have a camera in my room or you're just like some telepathic creepy ass motherfucker. Because listen, when I'm there, I sit all smiles in front of all the Microsoft Office people because they're little douchebags for lying to me about my boyfriend. So I tell them that, yeah, I'm playing on the Xbox. But when I go home at night, you know the closet from the movie Signs where Uncle Merrill watches the film from everybody else? I have a little closet like that, and it's got a Pro.
Oh, my Lord.
Put a lock on there. No one knows it's in there, but it's in there. I play the Pro. That's the one game. You know, they said this pisser was the next level. And let me tell you, it is. It is chef's kiss, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
So in my spare time, I'm a closet PlayStation pony.
Oh, man.
But in the daytime, Xbox, baby, get it.
Well, I guess with that revelation, I guess that's where we leave you for tonight, Game Pass, man. Make sure you're ready for next week because it's the Dirty 30 episode, and so we're gonna see what Dirty 30 you can bring for us.
We're gonna have to F around and find out, or as Brock Lesnar would say, it's F around and F5.
Yeah.
Sweet mother of pearl. Well, yeah. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you allowing me to hop back on the show. As you guys know, I am on the chase, and the chase continues for my boyfriend Phil, who has escaped the country and now fleeing away from my love. And I'm gonna find him, and there will be consequences for his actions. But as you can see right now, I gotta make it through this big fucking maze, and everybody's just animals. Everybody, shut the fuck up. All right, everybody. I am out of here. Peace out, Girl Scout. It's been fun. Adios, losers. And you know what, Mental? I'll see you at 3 a.m., baby. It's subscription time.
His Cold Python will see you at 3 a.m. as well.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. I'm almost scared for what he's got planned for next week.
Well, he's going to get thrown out of PAX. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, man. Dude, it would be hilarious if he did do Game Pass, man, at PAX. That would be awesome. Like, just have somebody film it real quick. He just shows up briefly. You know, because the mask.
In his briefs.
In his briefs. But the thing is you could probably get away with it because of the mask. It'd be like hiding it just enough. I don't want to give him ideas.
He would have to get those bicycle shorts, those tight bicycle shorts to get away with it.
Oh my God. Like the Speedo type bicycle shorts.
Yes. The only way he could get away with wearing underwear.
Mental in here saying get a picture with shawarma.
Oh man. No, dude, if I actually read the guidelines for PAX and there was like wearing like something as like revealing as like underwear or like maybe a Speedo. I think I could potentially not be let in.
Oh, man.
Granted, I think I might tuck away a little something in the backpack, and on Friday, maybe the last hour or two, I will
here's what you got to
enjoy myself at the convention.
You got to get the athletic pants to have the buttons, okay? Just wear them.
The snaps.
And and then right in the middle of the floor, just fucking pull those off, and then you got your little bicycle shorts on, and then
man, dude, it'll be like they'll
throw you out like fucking Pee Wee Herman. You'll be done.
I'll just start partying. I'll party boy people like the Wild Boys.
Yeah, party boy.
just getting absolutely just sexual harassment charge after sexual harassment charge from people. They'd be like, "Who is this? Who is this guy, dude?" He'd be like, he said he was Game Pass, man. He's
just get Karen Reed's lawyer. You'll be fine.
You'll be totally
Don't worry.
Venom Dave in here real quick.
We'll back you up.
Venom Dave back you. Oh my God.
Cardiac.
Venom David here, he should be Cardiac Man. He has YouTube's new button more.
Too, but I'm thinking about doing like at least an hour or two of just Game Pass man stuff while I'm at
Oh,
PAX.
my
that way, if they're like, hey, get out of here. You just see Game Pass man fully
Just running.
running through the city.
Imagine if they get so pissed off they sue Microsoft for this shit.
Oh my God.
Imagine if they call me in, they're like, we want to do business with you.
Oh my Lord. Either that or we all get called in as like character witnesses or something. Like, I don't know what's happening.
You think this is funny, this defamation of character?
It's like, no, it isn't funny anymore. Shit.
Yeah, but that's when we point the finger at Noof. We're like, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
did it.
this guy, but this guy Nukem, like put him in our group, and we don't know who the fuck this guy is. So
Oh man.
talk to this guy
We're all
Noof. He's in
hired
Canada.
Good luck extraditing, I guess.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Well, on that note, everybody, that brings another episode of Gaming Ain't Easy to a close. And like I said, first off, acknowledging the chat, Mental 9R making it, of course.
Mental,
Everybody tune in.
Really quick,
Dave.
how funny would it be if Nuke woke up during the springtime to ride his bike, and it's gone from his garage, and Game Pass man stole his bike and is riding it all over the place?
Oh my Lord.
I trapped it.
Man. Oh my God.
Funny.
That'd be awful. But let's give it up for the chat here one more time. Like I said, Mental 9R making it in, Venom Dave, Chrissy Bakley, Demon Damio was in here. We had
Sir.
see now I'm already having names escape me, so I gotta scroll. Talos, of course. Yeah, Dennehy, there we go. That was the name I was stumbling on. Stevie Mac, Piggles was in the house, Frank was in the house. Everybody up in here, y'all are a bunch of lovely, lovely folks. We're gonna go ahead and get the hell out of here so you guys can get on with your night. Of course, us with the court. You can go on and on about how Xbox made you do it. There's your defense. But on that note, guys, all right, let's sign off here. First off, Wicked. Let everybody know where they can find you when you ain't here Tuesday nights on Gaming Ain't Easy.
Excellent. If you can't, if I'm Jesus Christ, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying anymore. You can find me. You can find me on my YouTube channel. I stream the Demon Damio and two of my other buddies every Sunday around 4:30, 5 o'clock. We do a Baldur's Gate run. Do it for about 2.5, 3 hours. Just mindless fucking chaos, making decisions and just rolling with them, whether they're good or bad. So tune in if you want to check that out. And other than that, I'm doing a little bit of Diablo 4 prep. The new DLC comes out next month, but I'm doing the first DLC right now. So I don't have a schedule for that one, but if you see me on, hop on, just let's chat, baby. But that's where you can catch me.
There you go. Make sure you're subscribed and you tune in and all that good stuff. Yeah. And of course,
give me an oh yeah.
Give her an oh yeah. And of course, Perry, this is man on the panel here. Let's go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at when you're not here Tuesday nights on Gaming Ain't Easy.
You can find me every Wednesday night on Xbox.com, kissing Xbox's massively big green ad. No.
Ooh.
You can find me every Wednesday night on the Game Complainers YouTube channel for the Game Complainers podcast of myself, Anthony, Frank, and Fred, and Stevie Mac as the substitute for one of those people that don't show up. And there you go.
All right. And then, of course, y'all know where to find me at. You tuned in. You're here. You know where you can find me. And you know what I'm up to. Toy reviews, video game playthroughs. Going to get back into live tabletop here real soon and all that good stuff. But, hey, it's another Tuesday night in the books. And you know what you all need to be doing from here on out is gaming, because gaming ain't easy. We'll see y'all next week for the Dirty 30th episode. Until then, take it easy. See you soon.